Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We wanted to give you a quick tutorial here on how to register for Digital Theater Camp, as well as some things that you're going to need to be ready for Digital Theater Camp. And so we've put this together that will hopefully help navigate you through the process and get everyone all ready to go for Theater Camp. So we're going to start by heading into our website. So you can see here our website, which is a little cramped. We're working on getting some of that stuff all fixed. But the first place you can go is this tickets section right here. And when you go to tickets, it's actually going to take you to our Tix website, which is actually running an older version of our website. You can see because the tabs are different up there. But what you're interested in seeing here are all the different weeks of camp. And there are a ton of them because each week has actually up to 6 groups that can attend. So there's a K through 2nd group, there's a 2, 3 through 5th grade groups, there's a 6th through 8th grade group, and then there's a writing guild and a directing guild. All are working on different aspects of the production. The RPG camps are all about creating the content, where the advanced skills guilds, the writing and directing guilds, are about helping us design and organize and write and direct that content. But the thing that we're going to look at today is the GDYT DigiCamp test right here. Now, if you get to this page and there's a problem or some bugs, don't worry. You can also head over to the Tix website, which is just tix.com, right up there. And if you go to buy tickets, depending on the settings of your computer, our stuff might show up in the events. But if you searched for the George Daly Auditorium, it would eventually get to search results, which is the same things here. So if you go to tix.com, you can also register for camp. We're going to go back to here. So we're going to click on DigiCamp test, where we'll tell you a little bit about what's going on. Now for this test, we're hoping that families are available Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but the start date is just the date listed on the event. And you are going to add your screen. Remember, 1 screen per family. And if you are getting into registering for Theater Camp, know that each age group has its focus and the other people that can be on screen. It's totally free to have more people, but they're more for support. So if you have a 6th grader who's going to be jumping in with a 1st grader, we are going to have that camp day focused for the 1st graders, and they are the main characters of those stories. Just like if your 1st grader wanted to jump in with a 6th grader, they are support. And it might be a little challenging for the 1st grader to jump over, but it could be fun to have them both working together. But the focus of that will be the age group that's listed in the Theater Camp selection. For Digital Theater Camp tests, we don't really track that. We're just trying to get everything up and working. So you will see here, when you click into it, you have the ticket type and price and fees and all that stuff. It's a general admission because it's just a screen at your own home. And then you're going to head into checkout. My email address, my personal email address, pops up here along with my account information. This really helps if you have an account, although it's not 100% necessary, but I think that it definitely works better. And if you ever purchase tickets with the George Daly Auditorium for any of our professional shows, you already have an account with us. You would use the same thing. You can donate to the auditorium if you would like. This also shows how we go through music studio lesson bits. And then we have a survey which tells you all the attending people that are going to be participating. We've had some parents and guardians helping us with, or helping their students really, with everything with camp. There's a waiver here that lets you know that how things are going to run, and that we take videos and photos of your child to use for publication and promotion for the auditorium. Make sure you click that. In fact, it makes you click that. If you have any questions, please take the time to email me with any questions, and we'll be happy to sort anything you want out. We'll continue on. And then it gets you to this screen here, where it just lets you review everything. When you are doing digital theater camp, it'll review the order and it gives you the payment information needed to put it out. Since this is a free test, there's no payment information required. You have 5 minutes to complete your order before it expires, and then you go ahead and complete the order. Now, I'm not going to complete this because that would take up one of our screens. Actually, might as well. I can delete the screen. So you will get a confirmation in your email, and it will have in your confirmation the meeting numbers that let you get into digital theater camp. So you get the Zoom meeting link and number as you finish your registration, and that will help you get into the room. Again, if you have any questions, please email me, youth@georgedaly.org, and we can take it from there. So, other things to have ready for theater camp would be, let's get back to here. Other things to have available for theater camp, especially since the first phase is an RPG session. The second phase is some action settings where we take moments of our RPGs and put it up on his feet and start playing around. And then the third section of it is taking the action pieces and refining them down so there's something that can be filmed and distributed for our TV show or just for general watching. So the first day is going through your characters, and it is making sure you are helping us tell the story. So really handy things to have available is something to write on, like a notebook or a journal, or a piece of paper is just fine. Something to write with. I always recommend a pencil because I make a lot of mistakes and I always have to erase my stuff. And then it would be really helpful if your family had a 6-sided die, I should say. It's the single of dice. A 6-sided die, or a coin to flip if you don't have a die. This is a wooden one from RPG Camp last year. And so those things are necessary. We will have some packets available to download and get some character sheets ready and those sorts of things as we get closer to camp. We're putting that material together right now, but those are the materials that you should be really ready for. And then once we get to the second and third phases of camp for our 3-day campers, this means your Wednesday and Friday sessions, or for our Tuesday, Thursday campers, your second day is kind of a hybrid of 2 and 3. You're a little bit older and a little bit more advanced, so we kind of push those things together. But what's going to happen now is we are going to bring in a second screen, and Allison's going to help talk us through the action portion of those so that you can be prepared for that. So I'm going to... Oop, that is not Allison. That is our site. Let me go back here and add to the stream. You can see Allison is here with our cat Bitsy, who apparently is going to help as well. And Allison, could you talk us through what our campers should be prepared for the other action pieces of camp?
Absolutely. So one of the reasons, besides the fact that she wants to be a parrot today, that I brought Bitsy along for this segment is that theater camp is a little bit different this summer. And rather than everybody coming to the auditorium to all be together and all be in the same space, everybody is dealing with different space issues in their own places. In my instance right now, my cat is wanting to be on my shoulder. I'm going to see if she's going to get down. So when you are thinking about getting that space set up for camp, animals and pets are certainly a part of that. Sometimes it can be really, really, really fun to see everybody's pets at home. That's something we would never get to do if we were all at the auditorium. But other times we're running around, we're making noise, and pets can become a tripping hazard and be a little bit in the way. So we're going to let you know every day about what you can expect for the space that you need by having a different level system. And it's really easy to remember. You just have to be able to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. So when it is a level 1 day, that's typically going to be the very first day of camp for you. That's going to be your RPG day. So that's going to be the day that Andy was just describing, where you need your notebook, you need your pencil, you need your 6-sided die. So you can be pretty casual on a level 1 day. You need to be someplace that's comfortable, whether that's lying on the floor or sitting at a table. You need to be someplace that's a little bit quiet, removed from all of the other noise that's happening in your house so you can really listen and concentrate to what's happening on the story. And we would really appreciate it if you had someplace to roll your die where every time you roll it, it doesn't just disappear off into the wild blue yonder so that you spend most of your time looking for your die. So that's a level 1 day. Then on the second day of camp, which just also happens to be level 2, then on the second day of camp, level 2, we are going to be up and moving around. So you need about the amount of space that I'm in right now. I can move down stage to the camera, 1, 2, 3. And if I really wanted to, I could come in for 4. I can move to the side, 1, 2, 3. I can move to the other side. About 3 or 4 steps in each direction is a good level 2. We also need to be able to have camera high and camera low as we're starting to rehearse our stories of the Tin Pan Nights and bring those to life. Now, level 2 will probably stick around for most of day 3 as well. Day 3 is when we get into more extreme amounts of movement and noise. And we probably won't have too much of a level 3 happening in camp, but if we do, it will most likely be on day 3. You might need a little bit more space with a level 3, but you also would just need to make sure that the people in your house were okay with you having a little bit more noise and movement necessary during that camp time, because we know there are parents at home who are working, people who are trying to do schoolwork or trying to catch up on sleep. And so we just want to make sure that when we have a level 3 day, we'll give you plenty of advance warning so that you can let us know if it's okay or not for your house to have level 3 rules that day, or if you need to stick to a level 2, which is also perfectly fine with us. We just need to have that communication from you. So level 1, RPG, staying comfortable, someplace where your die won't fall off a cliff when you roll it. Level 2, the opportunity to move in about 3 or 4 steps in either direction before you're getting out of your camera's boundaries. And level 3, some more extreme noise and movement required.
All right. Great. Thanks a lot, Allison, for talking us through that. The other thing to remember is that we're going to use a lot of stage directions while we are giving that. So remember that a stage direction, whether it's staged right or left, is always oriented like you are looking at the audience. And in this case, the audience is your camera. It is the screen looking back at you. So it's a little disorienting to go through, but remember that your right and your left are the stage movements. So if we were to ask you to go stage right on your screen, you are moving to your right. Now, if you look at other people on the screen, they're going to be moving in the opposite direction of you, and that's exactly how it should be. It's not exactly mirrored in the same way. And so if you were to move stage left, again, you would be moving back. Lots of times we will use the phrase center stage or our neutral position, and this is where you're middle of the screen. This is where you're starting out. And then we're going to talk a little bit about upstage and downstage. So downstage is as you're moving closer to your audience, or in this case, your camera. And then upstage is moving away from that. We have 2 new stage directions that we'll talk about as well. Allison already mentioned them. There's stage high and stage low, and they're just helping us know where you need to be within that camera setting, because it's easy to lose someone on camera. But we also want to encourage you that as we go through our stories, to play with your camera and where you at, and understand that we're going to work on developing the depth of this just as much as everything else. So, yes, your hand scared me a little bit. Okay. So, thanks a lot, Allison, for helping us out. We're going to go ahead and let you move on your merry way. Maybe Bitsy's doing some fun things. And thanks to all of you for tuning in and going through some of the things that you're going to need for theater camp. Remember, if at any point in time you have any questions, please email me to get more information. You can see youth@georgedaly.org. That is my website. That is my email address. And anything that you need, I will try and get try and get back to you. All right. Remember that you can register for theater camp at georgedaly.org, and you can have a good time. So we're really looking forward to our theater test this week. Again, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you have time at 1 o'clock on all 3 of those days, it's preferred but not required. And again, let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully we'll see you this week, or at the very least, we'll see you when Digital Theater Camp starts June 1st. Thanks for everything. Journey on.